Namo Myo Renge Kyo. Here we go. You know, because this is so important, I'm going to say it again. Never seek this Gohonzon outside yourself. Do you hear that? Gohonzon's not in your Butsudan. Never seek this Gohonzon, because everything Nichiren talks about is Gohonzon. It is the attainment of enlightenment, the awakening. He's giving it another label. The goal, the dedication of the ultimate experience, Honzon. The Gohonzon, this experience, this opening experience, leading to the perception of Buddha, Buddha perception, Buddha-ness, Buddhahood, Buddha, whatever you want to call it, it's Buddha, through this awakening, what he calls Gohonzon. It ain't that scroll. Never seek this Gohonzon, awakening, outside yourself. The Gohonzon exists only within the mortal flesh of us ordinary people who embrace the Lotus Sutra and chant Namo Myoho Renge Kyo. That is the invocation of the awakening. Is that not exactly what he's saying? How that can be misinterpreted or used to manipulate people to see that scroll as some kind of Aladdin's lamp. I feel a little vomit coming up in my throat just considering that there are groups and organizations out there profiting so much off of people because of that key incorrect. And they'll quote this to you with a straight face. It's very upsetting. The body is the place of the ninth consciousness. What's the ninth consciousness? Do you remember? It is Buddhahood. It is Buddhahood, ninth consciousness. What's another label we can give the ninth consciousness then? Gohonzon. It's in the mind. An emergent property of this whole samsaric device. Universe, Bob, Joan, Pradeep, whatever you name your body in order to give it an identity. This is all provisional, this is just energy zinging through space. We're so attached to it. What we need to attach ourselves to is our Buddha-ness, our consciousness, not all the stuff. I mean, you want to be attached to all the stuff, great. Compete with Warren Buffett on how many toys you have. Good luck with that. The whole world has operated that way for millennia, yeah? But Buddhism, it isn't about immolation. It isn't about getting rid of that. You don't burn this body because you don't need it anymore. Yeah, you need it. This body is what provides for you the mind with which to experience moment-to-moment, moment-to-moment life, being, everything. Gohonzon exists only within the mortal flesh of us ordinary people who embrace the Lotus Sutra and chant Namo Myoho Renge Kyo. If that's the only place Gohonzon exists, isn't this also saying that the only place you're going to experience Buddha-ness is in this mortal life, samsara? That's right. When you die, ain't no Gohonzon. because there's no longer a mind emergent from this. This is dead. It's extinct. So let's get to work now. Your opportunity is fleeting. All from this little statement, this sentence. The entirety of Nichiren's doctrine is right there. Since Nichiren's disciples and lay supporters have confidence solely in the Lotus Sutra, honestly discarding expedient means, and not accepting a single verse of the other sutras, exactly as the Lotus teaches, they can enter the treasure tower of the Gohonzon. Don't misunderstand. The treasure tower isn't Toys R Us. Sorry, Toys R Us. But I'm using it as an exemplar. Right? It isn't Fry's Electronics. It isn't, I don't know, pick your greedy pastime. It isn't that. Maybe a sex shop. I don't know. Whatever your vices are. The treasure tower is enlightenment. It's the realization that everything is yours and you are everything. Because moment to moment, it's all happening. What happened before, why are you dragging that along? It's no longer alive. It's just a thud in your life. Sometimes I hear myself say things and it's entertaining. How reassuring, Nichiren says. Make every possible effort for the sake of your next moment-to-moment life. Right? Everything we should actively be putting our energy toward is in the next moment. If you have some illusion about being here now, you're already gone. Right? We are momentum. Nothing is static. What is most important is that by chanting Namo Myo Renge Kyo alone, you can attain Buddhahood. It will no doubt depend on the strength of your resolute mind. It's no wonder I ended this book with this Gosho, because it's just constantly, boom, core. No bullshit. This is it. Gohonzon is your mind. It's yours. Do it now. Nothing else should occupy your mind. To have a resolute mind is the basis of Buddhism. Thus, the fourth volume of the Great Concentration and Insight states, quote, Buddhism is like an ocean that one can only enter with a resolute mind, end quote. That's Tendai. Nichiren didn't invent this. But he's reminding you, this is the core. The fourth volume of the Annotations on the Great Concentration and Insight explains this, quote, with regard to the phrase, Buddhism is like an ocean that one can only enter with a resolute mind, even Confucius taught that a resolute mind is first and foremost. This is Chinese philosophy, yeah? Confucianism. How much more so is this true of the profound doctrines of Buddhism? Focus, determination. Isn't that what we teach our children all the time? You can be anything you want. Without a resolute mind, how could one possibly enter? That is why the Flower Garland Sutra defines a resolute mind as the basis of the way and the mother of great rewards. Make up your mind. If you're going to practice Buddhism correctly, you can't be wishy-washy about it. Right? You don't go to Tupperware parties, Daimoku parties, like their Tupperware parties. Be determined. Why make all the effort just to be part of a club? No. Enlightened, teacher, parent, sovereign, that's you. Do it. Take it seriously. If you have to slow down to take it seriously, then do that. The first volume of the Great Concentration and Insight says, quote, "How does one here have confidence in and practice the perfect teaching to attain perfect enlightenment?" The first volume of On Great Concentration and Insight says, quote, "To believe in the perfect teaching means to awaken a resolute mind through doctrine and to make a resolute mind the basis of practice." Right? This is Nichiren saying, get serious. Stop playing. A non-Buddhist document relates that because the Emperor of Han believed his aide's report that the waters of a river froze on the spot, another tells how Li Kuang, because he was eager to revenge his father, shot an arrow all the way up to his feathers into a boulder hidden in the grass, because he believed it was a tiger that had maligned his father, right? The commentaries of Tendai and Miao Lo make it perfectly clear that a resolute mind is the cornerstone. How many ways, how many words can we use, right? Because the Han Emperor believed completely in his retainer's words, the river froze over. And Li Kuang was able to pierce a rock with his arrow because he fully believed it to be the tiger that had killed his father. How much more so is this true with Buddhism? If you chant with the resolute mind that the Gohonzon in your mind can liberate you from the samsaric diversions and distractions to experience all of life fully, provide you the Buddha eye experience, then how can you fail to achieve it? Because it's already there. You don't even have to invent it. Just open it. The opening of the eye, right? Embracing the Lotus Sutra and chanting Namo Myo Renge Kyo in itself encompasses the 5 practices. It was this matter, the wonderful practice that includes the immediate completion of the 5 practices, that was transmitted to the great teacher Dengyo when he journeyed to Tang, China, and met the Reverend Dao Tsui. No other teaching is more important for Nichiren's disciples and lay supporters. It is referred to in the Supernatural Powers chapter. I will write again in detail. Respectfully, Nichiren. Reply to Nichinyo. A woman, I will remind you. And thus concludes Nichiren on Mandala and Gohonzon. I could read that last Gosho 100 times, and every time I read it, it just knocks me on my butt. It's so essential that we all understand that Buddhism isn't about ego, self, accumulations, identification. We have all that. And it doesn't fulfill us because it's a constant delusion. So let's open that Gohonzon mind, become our parent teacher, and sovereign, elevate that mind so we can look upon our earthly samsaric life for what it is. When we do that, we disconnect from all our stress and anxiety about, I got to have more of that. I need to get rid of that. Oh, that's a good friend, and that's a bad friend, and who do I please here, and how do I climb up the ladder, and blah, 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 blah. That's how we get ulcers. That's how we get headaches. That's how we can't sleep at night. That's how we suffer. So chanting about those things doesn't help. It's just more of the same. Chant to open Buddha. Chant to be the parent, teacher, and sovereign of your own life experience. Buddha-ness. Okay? That's why we're all here. Namo Myoho Renge Kyo. Thank you for your efforts. Thank you for your courage, your strength, your conviction. And while you're at it, please like and subscribe. We want to encourage as many people as possible, right? So thank you. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your emails, comments. I see every one of them. Namo Myoho Renge Kyo. I'm so grateful that this resource is communicating and that you communicate back. Yeah. I'm so grateful for Nichiren, for Shakyamuni, for Buddhism. Man. All right. I'll let you go. It's a brief one today. Yeah, very brief. But hopefully a very meaningful one. Thank you. Thank you once again. Thank you a millionfold. Patrons, supporters, buy books, any way you can support continuing this effort. Be a good friend to yourself and to others. Use these, by the way, you may know somebody who's curious or searching or been misled and kind of lost track or been turned off to Buddhism because of these other groups. Hey, a lot of us have been there, right? So, you may find, maybe it's this video podcast. You can download the podcast free too, right? The audio podcast. Share it. It's not all on you to explain everything. It's on you to be a good friend, to be supportive, right? As I always say, start everything about Buddhism with Daimoku, especially if you're endeavoring to support somebody else's practice. How are you going to do that? You can't put Buddha into them, right? So how do we do that? We open their mind so they can find Buddha for themselves. That's why we chant first. Here, let's chant. Namo Myoho Renge. Okay, here we go. Get in the car. All right, I think I'm done. See you in the next one. Take care of your health, okay? Bye for now.